and killing him. What are you guys' thoughts?
Well, Texas has a stand your ground law, right?
Yes.
And the governor is citing that and talking about pardoning Daniel Perry already.
Right. So the governor has come out and he says he's going to pardon Daniel Perry. He's going to do it as soon as humanly possible to get this pardon done and completed. But there's a process. The governor has to go through the parole board, and then they have to send the paperwork to the governor, and then he's able to sign it. The governor of Texas has very limited powers. There are only things that he can do, but his powers are very limited and controlled by different little things in our government, the way things work. And so it's not like the president. The president can pardon anyone at any moment in time, just a flick of a pen and a little bit of ink. But the Texas governor, has to go through a process. It has to be sent to him from the parole board, and then he's able to pardon him. And so everyone's upset. First, people were upset because Daniel Perry was convicted. Now you have the other side upset because they're saying, why? The jury has done their job. Jury of his peers has convicted him. They weighed the evidence, and they've come down with a verdict, of guilty, and they feel that the governor should let it stand. What do you guys think?
I think it's going to be interesting to see how Austin responds if he does actually issue the pardon. I think that's going to be, in my opinion, that's going to be the most interesting issue is what happens. Protest, riot. That's what I'm looking at, and I'm kind of worried about for sure.
Yeah. And so what do you think about the fact that, hey, Garrett Foster had a right to the Second Amendment. He had a right to open carry an AK if he wanted to. He had a right to wear a face mask if he wanted to. What about that?
Well, you're not given the right to threaten people with your gun. There are certain things you cannot do when you have that gun on you in public.
Right. And absolutely he has a right to the Second Amendment. Absolutely he has a right to open carry AK-47. Yeah. Absolutely he has a right to wear a face mask and tactical gear if he wants to. Absolutely. But do you have a right to block someone else's path, another citizen from going about their way? Do you have that right? Are you supposed to, he has a right to be in a car, Daniel Perry on a street and driving on the street. Do you have a right to stand in his way and block his path as a pedestrian with an AK-47, kicking his vehicle and threatening with an AK-47? You can't protest the cops, ladies and gentlemen, and act like the cops. That is my problem. You don't protest the police and act like the police. And I'm sick of the mainstream media trying to paint this as a black-white situation. This is not black-white. They're saying, oh, my goodness, Daniel Perry, Sergeant United States Army, shot and killed a Black Lives Matter protester. This is a white guy. He was the whitest of the white. Red hair. He was Conor McGregor white, okay, who was shot and killed. Stop making this a black-white issue. Yes, it was a Black Lives Matter protest, but guess what? 99% of the people that were in the protest were all white, not black. Let's keep it real. All right, so don't make it a Black Lives Matter issue. Don't make it a black-white issue. This is a stand your ground. You have a right to the castle doctrine to defend yourself. I'm in my vehicle. I have a right to protect myself while I'm in my vehicle. If someone tries to enter my vehicle, someone tries to remove me from my vehicle, if someone tries to kill me while I'm in my vehicle, I can use force, a deadly force, to stop them. I have a right to the stand your ground law. If someone's attempting to commit aggravated kidnapping, murder, sexual assault, aggravated sexual assault, robbery, aggravated robbery, I have a right to stand my ground, defend myself. As long as I don't provoke them, as long as I'm not committing a crime, then I have a right to defend myself. I can use force, a deadly force, to stop them. That is what we're talking about. You do not have a right to block another citizen's path. And so I don't think this case should have gone to the past the grand jury in the first place. They should have no-billed this young man, this Sergeant of the United States Army. It never should have gone to trial, never should have been handed over to the jury. It never should have gone to this extent. And I do think the governor should pardon this young man. You got to look at the totality of everything and look at our laws. Get yourself out of your little feelings and look at what the law says. Law says we have a stand your ground law. You can defend yourself. You have a right to protect yourself in 3 places. There are 3 places in this state that you should feel safe in. That is your home, that is your vehicle, and that is your place of business, because you have a right to protect yourself in those places. And that is what the Texas law says. If you don't like it, I suggest you go to the Capitol and you change the law. That's how it's done. But I guarantee you this week, I'm betting by Tuesday, this young man is going to be pardoned by the governor, and there's nothing you can do about it except take to the streets. You want to take to the streets, you want to march, you go ahead and you march. All of a sudden, these people on the left are so in support of people open carrying rifles now. All of a sudden, yesterday or day before, last week, they were talking about banning ARs, banning AK-47s. But now, we don't want to ban ARs, AK-47s. We're talking about, yes, you have a right to open carry an AK-47 with a face mask, tactical gear, block traffic, and threaten someone with a gun while they're trying to go about their